The terrorist Israeli and American military personnel are warned that they are being fully monitored by the operational intelligence units of our armed forces, and hiding in settlements, such as hiding in a settlement in Arad, does not save their lives due to the intelligence dominance of the armed forces. IRGC has unleashed the 75th wave of its True Promise operation, featuring a shocking intelligence breakthrough that caught adversaries off guard. Iran precisely targets Israeli military positions following advanced real-time tracking of high-value assets across multiple fronts. Tehran publicly claims it has successfully exposed hidden troop hideouts scattered across key Israeli defensive positions. Iran issues stark warning to Israeli and US forces, nowhere to hide from their expanding surveillance and strike capabilities. IDF forward positions in strategic settlements like Arad now fall squarely within Iran's crosshairs for coordinated attacks. Iran's IRGC initiated the 75th wave of Operation True Promise 4 on March 23, continuing its series of coordinated missile and drone engagements against designated targets. According to IRGC statements, this latest operation drew upon recently acquired intelligence compiled by its specialized reconnaissance and surveillance units. The communiqué specified that Iranian forces directed strikes against newly pinpointed concentrations of Israeli personnel across various operational sectors. Tehran asserted identification of concealment sites utilized by Israeli troops distributed throughout regions referred to as occupied territories. The IRGC maintained it has enhanced real-time tracking of adversary troop dispositions and movements through integrated intelligence fusion. In its advisory, the IRGC notified both Israeli and US personnel of persistent monitoring across forward operating areas and logistics nodes. It additionally referenced Israeli attempts to integrate forces within civilian settlements such as Arad for protective camouflage purposes. Iranian spokespersons indicated such IDF concealment measures within populated areas do not confer assured operational security against precision targeting. Among principal objectives stood Prince Sultan Air Base, situated in Saudi Arabia's Al-Kharj province southeast of Riyadh. Iran characterizes the facility as a pivotal logistical node facilitating US Central Command aerial missions throughout the Middle East theater. A few hours ago, the 75th wave of Operation True Promise 4, under the name O Fatima al-Zahra, peace be upon her, was carried out against Zionist and American targets. In this wave, based on reconnaissance carried out by operational intelligence units, new military deployment locations and the concealment of Zionist army personnel in various areas of the occupied territories were targeted. The Prince Sultan Air Base in Al-Kharj, which is one of the main deployment and operational locations for American aggressors against Iran, was also targeted with ballistic missiles. The terrorist Israeli and American military personnel are warned that they are being fully monitored by the operational intelligence units of our armed forces, and hiding in settlements, such as hiding in a settlement in Arad, does not save their lives due to the intelligence dominance of the armed forces. In direct retaliation to Donald Trump's escalating threats, Iran is likely setting a new operational target directly on Israel's key public infrastructure. Iran has reportedly deployed the tactical use of state-sponsored cyber warfare explicitly to breach various parts of Israel's civilian facilities. An Iran-backed digital hacking group recently claimed detailed technical maps and exact coordinates mapping Israel's regional power infra has been leaked. The prominent Handala group successfully released classified details including internal maps and exact physical coordinates for some of Israel's major energy sites. Even the structural facility layouts and internal transmission data Israel currently uses for municipal water and electrical power may have been accessed by Iran. The cyber hacking group allegedly successfully breached Israel's critical national energy system typically used for operating power stations and solar facilities. Iranian state media specifically cited Handala to firmly claim Israel's municipal water and active power plant details are now on a Tehran database. The digital hacking group further publicly claimed that Iran will inevitably respond with force if any of its domestic power plants are physically attacked. Iran will definitely respond with completely unimaginable military force to any hostile action, the WANA state media quoted the Handala group. The Iran national news agency WANA also formally released various alleged internal system images hacked by Handala in a March 23 report. On March 21, US President Donald Trump had publicly given Iran a strict 48 hours operational deadline to successfully completely reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Trump forcefully threatened to immediately carry out heavy military airstrikes directly against Iran's domestic power plants if the imposed deadline passes. However, Iran was entirely undeterred by the Trump threat and aggressively threatened widespread military attacks strictly on US Gulf allies instead. On March 22, Iran warned that if the US hits its power plants, it will answer by striking American-linked infrastructure in return. Iran's military said that in such a scenario, energy hubs, IT nodes, and desalination sites would all be fair targets for retaliation. The IRGC warned that an attack on Iran's power network would not stay local, but trigger a region-wide response across multiple Gulf states. Just hours later, state media pushed out a detailed list of Gulf power and water facilities that Iran says are already in its crosshairs. Near Al-Khobar, Iran highlights a major gas-fired plant with more than 4,000 megawatts of capacity as a prime potential target. It also flags Ras Tanura in Sharqiya province, a key oil hub tied into wider power and export infrastructure networks. In the UAE, the list starts with the Baraka nuclear plant in Abu Dhabi, which generates around 5,600 megawatts for the grid. It then points to the Jebel Ali complex, where gas-fired generation is tightly coupled with huge desalination systems that supply water. Iran's media also name-checks the Mohammed bin Rashid Solar Park, one of the largest solar energy projects anywhere in the world. For Qatar, Ras Laffan's vast gas-based power plant is singled out as a backbone site for national electricity supply. The Al Hal facility, combining power generation and desalination south of Doha, is also listed as a possible target. In Kuwait, the Al Zour South and North plants are described as critical pillars of the national grid. Sharqiya Energy Park, home to major solar and wind projects, rounds out the list as a symbol of Kuwait's future energy mix. On March 22, Iran officially warned it will decisively hit critical US allied infrastructure if its domestic power plants are physically targeted.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry guards.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.